Once there lived a family not too far out from where we all live, the Darling family. The Darling family had 3 children. Her names were Jan, Michael, and Wendy. Wendy would always tell her mom how Peter Pan would always play the flute in her room. Her mother would always tell her that she was imagining things, but couldn't help but notice the leaves in the room, which always confused her a bit. Wendy would always say that the leaves fall off Peter Pan. One night, when their parents went out for the night, the kids were left home all alone. And when they got sleepy, they all went to sleep. Peter Pan suddenly entered their room and started looking for the leaves he had left behind. At that moment, Wendy woke up.
Peter Pan, I was waiting for you. Nobody will believe that you're real.
Wendy gave back the leaves she had been hiding for Peter. She really liked Peter, and so they sewed his leaves back on his clothing.
Wendy, would you like me to tell you an amazing adventure story?
I don't want to hear about an adventure. I want to live on Peter Pan.
Right at that moment, Peter's small fairy friend Tinkerbell entered through the window.
Well, of course. I knew you'd be here. Are you getting ready for another adventure without me?
You know it's not possible for me to do anything without you.
When do you woke her siblings up? Her siblings looked at Peter Pan and Tinkerbell with great confusion.
Well, are you ready to fly?
Tinkerbell scattered her fairy dust and off. They went floating into thin air, and all together they left the house. The kids headed towards Neverland at once. After a long journey, they arrived at Neverland, and there they were, the mermaids, wild animals, Indians, pirates, and the Lost Boys were there too. Was the most dangerous of them, called Captain Hook. Captain Hook was Peter Pan's enemy. The reason for this was because when they were fighting, Peter cut his arm and a huge crocodile ate it. Along with his arm, he also swallowed his watch, and because of this, the crocodile would always make a tick-tock noise, and so Captain Hook would always know if the crocodile was near from the noise when looking around with his binoculars on the deck. Captain Hook spotted Peter Pan and kids looking at him from the top of a hill. He immediately ordered the men to fire the cannons. It was very hard for Peter Pan and the kids to get away from the campus.
Tinkerbell, you take the kids to a safe place. I will deal with Hook.
Tinkerbell was very jealous of Wendy, so she wanted to keep her away from Peter Pan. With so many pictures, she left Wendy back on the hill and brought Jan and Michael to a safe place down at the beach. Lost Boy, who lived on the island, saw Wendy from afar and thinking that she was an enemy. Then, whoop! At the same time, Peter Pan was fighting with Captain Hook, but seeing the crocodile that going is suddenly repairing Hook ran away in fear. Whilst Peter Pan was coming back, she saw Wendy laying on the brook, wounded, and he was very upset. And the Lost Boys were very sorry when they realized that the girl that they had wanted was Peter Pan's friend.
I have left the kids in your care.
Tinkerbell was so sorry. She also realized that what she did was wrong.
I'm so sorry, Peter Pan. This will never happen again, I promise.
Boys made a beautiful home for Wendy and her brothers. At night, they all would sleep in the house underneath the trees listening to Wendy's story. And Peterpan would keep guard in front of the house. One day, when they were staying on the rocks, they spotted the British approaching. The British took the Indian chef doctor hostage. Peter Pan and the boys went after to save the chief doctor, and there was a big battle between them and the British. In the end, they saved the doctor and brought her to the chief. After that day, the Indians, Peter Pan, and the lost boy became very close friends. In fact, the friend ordered two of his best men in Peter Pan's command to guard the boys. Of course, Captain Hook was worrying about this.
One day I will bet you Peter Pan and you will not be able to get away.
One night, when Wendy started to tell the story of her family, Peter realized how much she and her brother missed their home. So he told them that they could go back if they wanted to, but that he wanted to stay. When they all were packing up their long journey, they were attacked by the pirates. The pirates caught the boys after they set off a trap to the Indians and captured them. Peter Pan was sleeping at home, not knowing all that happened to the boy. Captain Hook saw him sleeping, but he could not open the door to Peter Pan's tea house. Still, he put poison in the bottle he was carrying on the door, causing Peter Pan to sleep for hours. Peter Pan slept one whole day, and when he woke up, Tinkerbell entered it. After she told him all that had happened, Peter Pan and Tinkerbell went out to rescue the boys. They arrived to the Happy Rock. The pirate had crossed the sea that there was no pirate on guard. And when they went over to the other side of the rock, they were shocked from what they saw. Wendy, Jen, and Michael and the lost boy were all tied to the poles, and Captain Hook was holding a torch in flames.
Say your last words.
As the eldest, Wendy began to talk.
Dear friend, my last word to you will be the word your real mother would have told you. If the word here the world have told you not to be fine and to be crazy, to fake your death, don't be fine. Goodness away, went away.
Captain Hook got very angry with Wendy's words, so he brought her to the boat and tied her to the big pole. At this moment, Peter Pan and Tinkerbell reached out to save the boys. At the same time, the Indians and the chief came to help. This made Peter Pan so happy, because with their help, they reached the boys.
It was now time to get Wendy. Peter Pan and the lost boy got on Captain Hook's ship, where only a few pirates remained. And when they realized that they would be beaten, they jumped off the ship.
There's nowhere to hide. Hook surrender.
Peter Pan and the lost boy started to charge towards Captain Hook, pushing him to walk backwards, and suddenly he heard the noise, the one noise that he was most afraid of. When Captain Hook looked back in fear, he saw the crook waiting for him to fall down into the water.
Help!
In a flash, he ran to the other side of the boat, jumped, and started to swim as fast as he could. Peter Pan and the lost boy began to laugh. From that moment on, Hook's ship belonged to the lost boy and their captain was Peter Pan.
The boys untied the ropes and the sails blew up with all their might.
Tinkerbell, fly us away to the home of the darling family.
The kids were very happy to hear this. Wendy, Jen, and Michael were going to reunite with their parents. They had dearly missed. When Tinkerbell springs the fiery dust, suddenly the ship was airborne and started to fly in the sky. Wendy was restless to get home and tell her parents all about Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and the Neverland.